Hello. I'm JD TheMediajack, and this is not going to be what I usually do here. I have been missing something from my radio career for quite some time, and I've decided to kind of move forward with that. What I miss is the opportunity to have a live radio show, play some music, and feature some artists. Now, I've had plenty of guests on in the past. The TheMediajack podcast, formerly the Flipside Radio Show podcast, is going to continue, and I will have more guests. But this gives me an opportunity to promote some indie artists and maybe even just help out a couple of friends. As you can see in the corner, or if you're listening, you're going to find out real quick that the featured artist for this first episode of the TheMediajack Live is the Ebbs. It is a trio featuring Willie Kukless, Joe Shea, and Finn Scott Neff. They recently released a brand new album, officially their first album. This is Joe Shea explaining.
The album's called Volume 1, and we released this last year. Crazy, last fall actually. And it was recorded over the course of the pandemic. Like we were starting to gear up before the pandemic hit, and we were playing shows and writing songs, and kind of things fell apart for a little bit, but we finished off a couple tracks and then really pushed to get the album done in the summer. Really did tons of mixing and producing on the album. So I can't remember how we settled on Volume 1, probably because we wanted there to be a Volume 2.
Yeah. So it comes with the expectation that it's not alone.
Yeah, so all the songs were written by Willie and I. A couple co-writes. I have another band that we had another songwriter there, Alan Braun, help on a couple songs, but mostly it's songs that we brought into this band.
This is a friend of mine, Willie Kukless, who, believe it or not, is a talented voiceover artist. In fact, he's in like the Jurassic Park Lego cartoon, and this is him explaining some of the history of the tracks that are featured on the Ebbs Volume 1.
Mostly old stuff, like old tracks. Like some of them are 20 years old, like from Joe, stuff that we started playing as a band and then put on the album. Yeah.
And the final member of the Ebbs, the one who rounds out the trio, is Finn Scott Neff, and he's the fiddler. And he had some extra fun with some of the tracks off this album.
The fun part of recording the album was one of Willie's solo songs that's on the album, and then another one of the songs that we wrote while recording it was turned into fun music video.
Yeah.
In fact, there are 2 music videos, and we're going to feature those music videos during this episode of the TheMediajack Live. Now, without further ado, this is Joe introducing the first track off of Volume 1 of the Ebbs.
The opener. It's the song we usually open our shows with. It's an old song I wrote 20 years ago. It's called Pound of Flesh. And this is a song I wrote when my first EP. I was just starting to write songs, and it's a lot more brooding. 20 years ago, Joe was a brooder. But a friend of mine took this track and amped it up, and he brought it up into this major key and made it like kind of a fun song. And that's how we play it now. We do a cappella to start and grab people's attention, and then off we go. So that's how we started the album. Pound of Flesh.
Pound of flesh at a Safeway store. 24 tons of plants that I feed your car. When I'm here, I feel a little strange. Around you, my dear, I try not to act my age. At a Safeway store. 24 tons of plants that I feed your car. When I'm here, I feel a little strange. Around you, my dear, I try not to act my age. And dark. 15 paces you turned around. Another heart left behind in the lost and found. Another shadow on the doorway above my bed. Another chance to let slip by instead. And I don't wanna know where you are. Some sparks fly out from our nuclear star. And I don't wanna know where you are. Pulling shortest straws out in the dark. Pulling shortest straws out in the dark. Oh, 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 and I don't wanna know where you are.
That was A Pound of Flesh, the Ebbs. This is the Media Jack Live. Thank you so much for joining me. A quick shout out to everyone who is currently in the live chat, which is Soul Shepherdess, Hylian Child 95, as well as Carberry 80. I really do appreciate you guys being here for this. Moving on with our featured artist. This is on to track 2, and Willie Kuklis talking about bruises.
Bruises is a new one. Originally, I wrote it for a solo album called I'll Be Alright, which was released recently. Anyway, we were going on tour. That's right. That's what it was. We were going on tour with the Ebbs and Trundled, which is Joe's other band, and me solo, and we just did the Northern Road Show, is what we called this tour, and we traveled. We took the Northern Road Show west from Prince George, and then in order to do that tour, I really wanted to have an album because I had a bunch of songs, sort of ideas of songs, and so I raced to get the solo album done for that. Anyway, so we took it on the Northern Road Show, and then the song "Bruises" was like working really, really well as a group, and the harmonies and stuff and everything was coming together. I think Ellen jumped in on that one. It was just so much fun to play it as a band that we just put it on the Ebbs album as well, and it's just it's got that harmony part that we all came up with, and
It's a good brooding song.
it's a good brooding song. But that I don't know, that's something I do a lot, is write really brooding tunes. I just play them fast, so sometimes they don't sound so sad.
Are you just working through shit right now?
This is what music is all about.
I'm working through shit. I am working through shit. Thanks for bringing that up.
It must have hurt the first time, an unsurprising blindside. You never knew what you could do. So you still made the coffee, and he still said he's sorry. You made a choice to live anew. I wanna take you, I wanna break you out. Was it more than disdain, a self-deluded refrain that was spent on you each day? Your bruises told your story in shameful allegory. Another time you were betrayed. I wanna take you, wanna break you out. This time you have to wonder. This time you can't roll under. This time you have to make it home. Wish you more than freedom. If I could be the beacon of a welcome journey home. In a war without a plan, every stand is the last stand. Here's to more than you have known. I wanna take you, wanna break you out. Take you, wanna break you out.
Yeah, that song's also a good example of dynamics and how like you can take a relatively simple song that's, you know, 4 chords with the verse and the chorus, and then there's a bridge, but we really like tone it back and then kind of come in with a pretty strong vocal harmony and build on that. And so there's got a lot of ups and downs, even though it's quite simple musically.
Yeah.
You guys are flattering the hell out of me in the chat. I really appreciate it. We are listening to the first feature artist of the TheMediajack Live. It's the Ebbs, and you just heard from Finn Scott Neff talking about that song, Bruises. Now, you may be wondering, JD, what are you doing? What is this all about? And what? Please give us more. Well, this is something I hope to do more frequently in the future. I have a plan to do this once a month, where I'd take a featured artist and then I would get an opportunity to either explain on their behalf with their information and their input and use their words as best as possible, or in the case of the Ebbs, sit down, have a conversation, interview them, and have them break down each track on an album of their own. Now, you can help out with this if you'd like. First of all, if you have a band that you would like to tell me about, go to TheMediajack.ca. That's my website. And right there, you can send me an email with the links for your Bandcamp, your Spotify, wherever your band is hosted. Feel free to let me know and give me information. Don't just be like, hey, this is my band, and that's it. No, more information, the better. Secondly, if you don't have a band, I have a Patreon. If you'd like to help me and support me, feel free to jump on the Patreon. Search for TheMediajack. It only costs like literally a couple of dollars a month to help me out, and then I can continue to do more things like this because I love doing stuff like this. And judging from the live chat, you guys are loving this as well. So I'm just going to continue on as best as possible. Like I said, going to be doing this at this point in time once a month. Continuing on, we're talking about the Ebbs and their album Volume 1. We just heard from Bruises. Their next track is number 3. It's titled Home.
That's, again, a William Cookless tune. I really like playing this song. It's sort of, we put it in there because we can really work the harmonies on this song and have a lot of fun with it. It's a slower one, but it's a nice sort of ballad tune. It's a fun song to play.
It just works really well together. Again, it's one of those ones that we brought together, and it just hits. Home is actually it's a tour. It's a being on the road song. So one of those tour tracks where it's like you want to be home, sitting alone in a hotel room, talking to your kids on the phone or whatever, and just want to be home.
Seeds of doubt, well sown, strewn across this road, taking heart in hand, going to take my stand. Baby's on the phone, these hotel nights alone, take me home, I pray, from these nights afraid, and I'm home. And I'm as I drive all night, I know we'll be alright. The truth of what I've known, just 10 miles down this road, and I'm home. And I'm
Then a pretty standard. They're both in D, right?
Right.
It's very open key and
Lots of room.
yeah, very much has like a kind of a traditional sound, almost like lends to like a folk country sort of styling. So with the fiddle especially, I find that I can do a lot of like sort of twangy, slidey, open string kind of more traditional sounding riffs and that sort of thing.
We're talking with the featured artist, or at least you're listening to the featured artist of the first episode of the Mediajack Live, and that is the Ebbs, and that was Finn, the fiddler of the Ebbs. Moving on to the next track, this is a liminal, a beautiful and kind of a very touching track for Joe Shea.
Liminal is a word that's kind of been thrown around these days with it's like a transition period where you're moving in between things, in between places, or in between whatever. And so, this is a song. I lost my sister last year to cancer. She was 47 or 48, I think, when she died, and that was hard. And so this kind of song, things always get mixed into songs. I think when you're writing, it's not just one specific thing. You often roll in a bunch of other things that are happening too. So yeah, it's a song about that and being in those sort of in-between places.
I'd say I left it a little late. I'd say anything to get away. And I live without you now. When I fall, I'll get up somehow. Oh, let me know. Oh, let me know. I keep on living these endless days. I keep on dying just the same. Can't be the one who'll let you know. Won't be the kid face down in the snow. Let me know. Let me know. No, I do it all again. I won't erase or pretend. And if you wanted my heart, you'd have to earn it all. Oh, if you wanted my heart, you'd have to earn it all again. I move between these worlds apart, and I can always make a brand new start. When we die, where do we go? I think we're in the rain and we're in the snow.
I gotta give them credit. They can hit those notes, and I get goosebumps when they do it. That's Liminal, the Ebbs, here on the TheMediajack Live. Now, if you've been watching the live stream or you're watching the video, you'll notice that I'm actually just feeding straight off of Spotify. They are on Spotify as well. Up on the screen, you can see that the Ebbs, the EBBS, are on Bandcamp if you'd like to hear more of their music, or maybe even buy one of their albums, be it physical copy or digital copy. Feel free, but Spotify, of course, is where they are available, and you can listen to them as you please. Moving on, for the next track of the album, Volume 1 by the Ebbs, sometimes tracks, they're inspired by unfortunate events, as they will explain here.
And so this is the Ebbs co-write. There's actually a few songs, only a few on here that we co-write, and this is one of them.
Yeah.
So Willie and I were just talking in the car earlier today about Counting Crows. And
Yeah.
I get a lot of flack sometimes for being a Counting Crows fan, but
Why? Not for me. I love them.
there's some, music snobs. I think their first album is incredible. And when I play this song, I think of Adam Duritz. I think of the Counting Crows, and it's like this kind of big, awesome, folky, but rootsy sound. So that's what we're going for. And the lyrics are just kind of, again, pieced together from nonsense.
There's a lyric verse, actually, I think, about a girl that I was seeing when the song was being written stepped on my violin bow and broke it in half. On her birthday, no less.
Right.
Was this an accident or deliberate?
It was an accident.
Okay.
And she felt very bad, and she ended up replacing it.
Okay.
But for some reason, I'd had that bow since I was like 11 years old, so I was trying to detach the emotional tie of this object that is, an instrument and something that is quite personal. But I think that the line is something like, just my broken heirloom heart lying in pieces on the floor.
Yeah.
And that was inspired by that little
That's right.
accident. So
I'd put ink to paper, but I don't think it'll stick. We've rattled this cage before, but this is gonna hurt like a ton of bricks. Just a few missteps as you headed for the door. Just my broken heirloom heart lying in pieces on the floor. Round and around we go. Round and around we go. Yeah, I'm too old for these games. And I'm too young to remember your name well. I know we've heard this tune before, but the words will never strike that chord. Round and around we go. Round and around we go. There's comfort in this routine, but it's always the same fucking thing. Yeah, not everything that dies will come back again. Yeah, not everything that dies will come back again. Yeah, not everything that dies will come back again. Round and around we go. Round and around we go. Yeah, we go. Round and around we go. Years are short, but the days are long. Round and around we go. Years are short, but the days are long. Round and around we go. Years are short, but the days are long. Round and around we go. Years are short, but the days are long. Round and around we go. Round and around we go.
The Ebbs round. This is the TheMediajack Live. I'm JD. I'm so used to being on terrestrial radio, I almost called in my my radio station numbers. No, I'm doing this online. This is just you and me. We're hanging out, listening to the Ebbs. This is the MediaJack Live. One thing, though, is interesting is that the lead singer for the Ebbs, Willie Kuklis, dare I call him the lead singer, because Joe is just as talented. So is Finn. But Willie and I have actually known each other for years, and we worked together at a radio station at one point in time. And being behind the scenes of a radio station, you know that sometimes things have to be created and you have to utilize what is available to you. A lot of shows have theme songs. They have what's called IDs and bumpers. And when word got around that Willie Kuklis was a musician, well, I mean, they weren't shy about asking for help.
That's another Ebbs co-write.
It is.
Well, I brought it in, I guess. I was messing around on an electric guitar one day and brought it in.
Yeah, so you had the basic structure of it.
Yeah.
So this comes from being asked to write a song for a radio station, CFIS.
No, you can say it. It's fine.
Yeah, their morning show after 9. So
Oh, yeah.
So they asked us, hey,
We
we
wrote the theme song.
We wanted a theme song. They wanted a theme song for it.
Mm.
And we're like, well, of course. What do you say? Yeah, we can do that. Sure. So the song's now called After 9 because it's After 9 is the radio show.
Mm.
And then, so yeah, you had this piece that we were playing with. It was like a really chunky electric. Come.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know how it transpired with, I think we started throwing lyrics on it.
It's a barbershop quartet chord progression. I think initially we played it in like a 6/8 kind of, barbershop-y doo-wop, doo-wop, and then the rhythm completely changed,
Yeah.
so it's no longer that.
Yeah. And then we started we threw on some words.
Yeah.
Some of them stuck and some of them we threw on different ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there was the banjo
Yeah.
that we had threw on there, and then the ooze, just everything just sort of.
Yeah, we wood shopped that one a lot.
Yeah.
It's After 9, the MediaJack Live.
It's after 9, dear, laid out on the floor. I never stop to take the time. I'm always wanting more and 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 It's not enough, dear. We can always fool ourselves. I was lost in the crowd, and the cause 'cause I'm proud has got me wanting more and 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 more. Caught in the headlights, stapled to the floor. And the whites of my eyes in the night with the sunrise, always wanting more and 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 more.
I've realized as a part of recording, I improvised the solos when I recorded it, and now I've just heard that solo so many times, and I had to learn it in order to sync it to the music video that we made remotely.
Right.
That now, when we play the song live, I end up just playing the solo that I improvised.
Oh.
And I didn't like sit down and write it. It just has become this thing that I play again and again.
So that was a snippet of the music video that is available on YouTube of the Ebbs with the song After 9. And you're listening to the TheMediajack Live. Now, again, being an artist and being known as being an artist, you tend to actually get these wonderful opportunities to be a talent for hire. And it's always flattering whenever that happens. In the case of the Ebbs or Willie Kukless, he had an incredible opportunity to do so with track 7 off of Volume 1 from the Ebbs, Train.
I was asked to make for a track for a movie that it was just a short film, but they wanted a track. It was about a train and stuff. I wrote this tune and then got a grant to actually record it and make a music video. A big grant from Creative BC, which was so awesome. So what we did, I brought the song to the guys, and then we put it on the album and made a really cinematic sort of piece. And then we got to record this insane music video, like a huge full budget music video it's really cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was really fun. It was a fun experience.
Makeup and running around the railroad and forestry museum with a dog and being very cold at midnight.
Yeah, we did it.
Oh, Molly, your dog Molly was supposed to be the vicious guard dog.
Yeah. This chocolate lab was just like into food, you know. It's like yeah.
Late just seems to happen, innate in our normal fashion. You see, I've done it all again. Help, I wish I could tell you myself without sounding untrue. Now you're getting on that train. This rain is a fitting tribute, a stain on my faulty rebuke of what was never to be said. And now as you leave the station, somehow it seems that I'm erasing the fear that's always in my head. And I wait. And I wait for you. It's always been my fault, my horrible and strained default. You know I wish you all the best. And I wait.
The Train by the Ebbs. This is the Media Jack Live. I hope you're enjoying yourself. And again, the Ebbs are available on Bandcamp as well as Spotify. They are the featured and first band, the first artist to be on this new edition of the Media Jack show. If you have a band and you would like to be featured, if you would like to have your album played track by track, maybe give an explanation as to what those tracks are and what they mean to you, how they came to be, feel free to drop me a line. TheMediajack.ca is my website. And you know what? It's free. Well, you got nothing to lose, right? Nothing but publicity. And I'm willing to talk to anyone who has a story to tell. Now, it's interesting with that song, The Train, as they did play a part of that on the set in the Railway and Forestry Museum in Prince George, British Columbia. And you could see the interesting metal background behind them. Well, that was a beehive burner, which had some acoustical bonuses.
We were playing the music in a beehive burner, too, which great acoustics.
Yeah, that's right.
Kind of a nice aesthetic.
We have plans. I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but we want to do a beehive burner concert, the burner show or burner concerts or something.
Yeah.
Burner show.
The burner show.
Appeal to it.
The sound is amazing in there.
Yeah, it's really cool. It was fun.
So you just got to find the right season where it's warm enough and it's not super buggy down there. But
so moving on with everything that they got going on, like they're very eclectic, and I love the fact that I'm getting all these reactions off of the live chat. And yeah, some of the notes that they hit, beautiful. They give me goosebumps, and I'm loving every minute of this. They are also making sure to pay tribute to their roots and give each member of the Ebbs a spot to shine. Finn, being a fiddleist, well, he has the opportunity to do something that is not of the norm when it comes to the Ebbs. They do traditional covers, like their next track.
One of the things we do in live shows often, and this is my musical background, is we play traditional fiddle tunes, often Celtic ones. So this is a medley of 3 Irish reels that I learned when I was a teenager, and just ones that I've played for years and years and really enjoy. And we decided that when we recorded the album that we would throw some traditional tunes on, even though we rarely play covers. It seems like an appropriate cover, other than, what is it, Happy Birthday? TM, I guess. I don't know if we're allowed to say that. But yeah, these are old Irish tunes that I learned when I was like 14 years old, and I just really like to play them, and I'm stoked that these guys are down to cop along.
Track 8, it's the Curlew, the Ebbs on the Media Jack Live. I don't know if you caught it in there, but there was a slight change in tempo in the middle of that song. That was Finn doing his thing. and the rest of the guys trying to catch up.
I would say that was one of the hardest ones to record for me. So I play guitar on it,
God, yeah, I played
and
banjo when I went.
just trying to match up with the fiddle track and there's a click track in your ear, and it's like it's really challenging. You play that stuff live, and it's so much easier because you feed off of each other when you play, and I can follow his rhythm, and we can make it much more dynamic. And so this one was hard to record, but yeah.
I think the way that I play it depends on the rhythm instrument comping. So I probably recorded it differently with the click track than I would have with somebody playing alongside me.
And you slipped an extra beat in there.
Oh, that's right.
In between Curlew and Bear Island, if you listen to it, there's one extra beat, and I was like, that was the track. That was the track that I had, though. I had to follow Finn, and I was like, there's an extra beat here.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah. No, it was like 4, 4, 4, 4, then 5.
We're getting down to the nitty gritty. There are 10 total tracks on Volume 1 from the Ebbs. This is track 9, and Willie explaining Bluster and why it's not a live performance song.
This was a weird one. It's a weird tune. It's
good.
No, I'm not saying I like it. I think it's a good tune. I just think it just kind of, it's a studio song. Like it's one of those. It was basically written in the studio for the most part. I had this idea. We kind of passed it around.
Kind of got like an orchestral solo, so it's hard to do live because I think we recorded like 3 violin tracks. Same thing with the train.
And
6. Yeah, there's like a ton of layering in that track.
It's quite complex.
Yeah, and so we don't play it live because we can't. But it was just created in the studio, and like there really isn't a story behind it in as much as it was a song about, I can't even remember what it was originally about. And then we just, it was kind of, it was probably a relationship thing, some heartbreaky kind of sad thing about, someone's lost love or some fucking thing.
Being a little rusty.
Yeah.
I always remember that one.
Yeah, so, because that's what I write about, like, heartbreaking misery.
Feels like the big one's been heading for me. Whipping up flames you never heard. From where the desert meets the cold open ocean. Your ashen expression's absurd. Why live this dream? Why can't we wake up from this truth that comes across as obscene? And I wanna scream. I can't just hold on to the days that are forming all around me. The smog that's been churning between us. Lighting the patience and choking it out. We've been sitting here living the messy. We're sitting here breathing the doubt. Why live this dream? Why can't we wake up from this truth comes across as obscene? And horses obscene. And I wanna scream. Can't just hold on to the days that are forming all around me. Around me,
Bluster, the Ebbs on the TheMediajack Live. The final track from Volume 1 from the Ebbs is probably the oldest track, or at least according to Willie Kuklis.
This one is an old. This is the one I was thinking of. This is like a 25-year-old song. Back in the day of my old band in Vancouver, Cultured Cowboy, and yeah, that's again, it's back then. It was like we were moody teenagers, and again, lost love. You cut me down, kind of broke my heart, that kind of thing. Misery, depression. Lost love.
There's a theme here.
Yeah.
I'm sensing a theme.
Hatred, misery,
I think
doom,
about trees
gloom.
when I hear that song.
Yeah, see?
Cutting trees.
There you go.
Hmm.
And then we changed it to a tree song. So I don't know what do you guys?
That one's fun. It's got
Yeah,
a
it's a
lot
fun
of
one to
kind of breaks and pauses, almost like the beat drop, as close as we come to a beat drop, and then we come back in with renewed vigor. But yeah, it's dynamic and fast, and definitely is one of the sort of higher energy tunes that we do.
The Ebbs, You Cut Me Down, the TheMediajack Live.
Heading for the tree line, head bent down in shame. I can hear you fire, can't even hear my name. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Running for cover, running from what you say, yeah. You load another bullet to plant inside my head, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. At least you weren't lying. At least your words were sound. Gotta tell you this much. Oh, you cut me down. Forgive my instigation. Forgive my primal fear. But you have this way of saying words I don't want to hear. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. At least you weren't lying. At least your words were sound. I gotta tell you this much. Oh, you cut me down. You cut me down, yeah. Sorry I pushed you to say these words to me. Guess it's better this way. At least your words are free. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Studio-wise, that one was really fun because we threw in tons of vocal layers again. On that
Yeah.
one. And I sang like some of the lowest notes I've ever sung into a microphone. And
Right.
They make their way onto this track somehow, really buried, but it was really fun.
But it's also, this one was really hard to do too because of the weird tempo changes in it. And again, it's one of those ones where like live, it's you play off each other again, right? So it's like you get that live feeling in the studio. It's way hard to do songs like that. But I think it turned out all right.
That was every track off of the Ebbs album, Volume 1, here on the MediaJack Live. Now, I had an opportunity to talk with Willie Cookless, Joe Shea, as well as Finn Scott Neff of the Ebbs. And it was a great conversation. And as I want to make sure with every guest, future, present, I want them to just share their thoughts. So I asked them what their final thoughts were when it comes to the album.
For me, I don't ever want to listen to it again. Especially because I did like the mixing and stuff on it. It was a long. I've heard those songs a lot. So I don't know. It's good to have it out, but
Was it like a labor of love that you're just ready to like, okay, done, can't do anything more to it, time to move forward?
I could sit there with those recordings even still, and we could sit there and like layer in more and re-record that piece, and you could work on it for the rest of your life. It'd never be exactly what you want. 10 years from now, you go, why did I do that? I'd rather play live with you guys than,
put in the CD and listen to it.
Yeah, exactly.
In the car wash.
In the car wash, right?
I haven't listened to it nearly as many times as Willie has because he did all the recording, but I'll still listen to some tracks from time to time, but it's definitely like, I think the huge appeal of this band is just playing live and, tapping into the Prince George music scene. It was really fun to do our album release show at the Almanica Art Center, like a little bit of, back to normalcy of live performing, and so it was a good time.
For me, I mean, every album we do, or I do, or I'm part of, it feels like it's like a snapshot. I mean, in this case, it was like almost like a 2-year snapshot because it took a while to do all the recordings.
Reel to reel,
No, but it's like it's a point in time, and I think it's always a great thing to move on from. Be like, okay, that was great. We recorded that. That's where we were. That's what we sounded like. And now it's like, what's next? What songs are we gonna write to bring into the new one? How are we gonna, kind of thinking in the back of your head, how are we gonna get the next one recorded? Where are we gonna do that? What's it gonna start to sound like? So, albums they're sort of monuments to where you were, how you sounded then.
Couldn't have said it better myself. This has been the Ebbs, the feature artist for the first episode of the MediaJack Live. They are available on Spotify, as you've been listening to and enjoying as well. They're on Bandcamp, and they do encourage you to check them out live. So if you could, follow them on Bandcamp and find out when they are going to be performing and where they're going to be performing, because as you heard, they are utterly incredible, and even more so when they're live. They're also on Facebook. Just search for The Ebbs. As for myself and you, first of all, if you'd like to support me, the Patreon page is just search for The MediaJack, and you can help me out. It just $2 a month is the minimum bracket, and you can certainly help me out and be a part of live events in the future. Everyone that I spoke to in the chat are on my Discord, and they're on my Discord because they are aware of Patreon, and they help me out. So if you'd like to be a part of this as well, sometime in the future, I would like to be able to do call-ins as well as some contests, maybe give away some gift certificates. Those are all possible, and those are things that I want to achieve with your help. So Patreon is where you can help me out. If you have a band and you would like to be a featured artist, I would like to do this at least once a month. TheMediajack.ca is where you can go to tell me about your band. Please do. Please do. I encourage it. Again, big thank you to Willie Cookless, Joe Shea, as well as Finn Scott Neff, the Ebbs. I'm JD the Media Jack. Thank you so much for joining me. Never forget, venting is normal. I'll see you next time.